So I'm going to try and go step by step, but you're also going to want to videotape this because when I'm done, you guys are up. Okay? And you'll have about 30 minutes to do this. The fastest time for breaking down a chicken that I know of in our butcher shop is 14 seconds.
Wow. Okay.
14 for one bear. This guy was amazing. He was from Laos. He was amazing. My record, I think when I was in my prime, was low 30s. I could do low 30 seconds. Like after you do like 50 of them, that's when you take your time. So it's something you can do pretty quickly. We're going to give you 30 minutes because it will take that long. It's like anything else. When the first time you do something, it's going to be sloppy. You're not going to know what you're doing. You don't have any framework yet to work on. So this experience is meant to give you the framework so you understand it better. Okay? You're not meant to be like butchers after this. So take your time, follow the steps so that when you're done this weekend, you can all go over to Kaylin's house and bring a chicken and saute chicken and watch chicken run. Something like that. That'll be a fun weekend, right? Okay. So when you get your chicken, you're going to take it and rinse it off. So that's step one. Rinse the bird. And then get in the cavity here. You're going to rinse the cavity out. And this is the breast right here. You can see that. So this is the spine that runs underneath. You're going to take your index finger and your middle finger. I'm going to go pretty fast, so you're going to want to pay attention. Okay? You're going to scrape out the kidneys. Okay, so they lie on either side of the spine. You just go in, pull them, and out they come. Just rip out the kidneys. There you go. Okay, so that's your first job. Rinse and scrape the kidneys out. Okay, the reason why you want to scrape the kidneys out is we're going to be using the bones for stock, and kidneys can cloud the stock and give it a little bit of a bitter taste. So we don't want that in the stock. Okay? That's step one. Rinse, scrape kidneys. Then you bring it back to your table. You're going to dry the bird off. So that's step two. One is rinse and scrape. Step two is to dry the bird off, and that's to keep yourself safe. Thank you. If this is wet sliding around your cutting board, it's not so safe. Okay. So there it is. Then, what's the matter? Go ahead. Okay. Next thing you're going to do, step three, is to orient yourself. Oh, that's foot's broken. Look at that. It probably happened in transport now. These are actually pretty good chicken. These are 3 pound and up, naturally raised chickens, no hormones, no antibiotics. They had a pretty good life there. So then you want to orient yourself, and this is how it becomes very real. Okay? So you can see this is how the chicken would be with the feathers on it. Now where are the breasts? Right in the front. So you can see that now. You'll be surprised. One group, even yesterday, or this morning, was trying to cut the breast out of here. That's the back. There's no breasts in the back. Okay? It just doesn't work that way. Okay? So what you want to do is have the bird on its back with the wings in the front, at the top of the cutting board. Its foot. What was that movie, Misery?
Oh.
Well, we're going to make it work for it. So the first thing you want to do is you want to do what are called safety cuts. So this is the femur that runs in here. This is the tibia and fibula. You're going to cut here and here. And then hyperextend the femur. Okay? So that will make sure it's a nice flat perch for you to work on. Okay? So we call them safety cuts. So that's the next step. Then you're going to remove all the fat from the back. Is waste. And while you're back here, you want to remove this. This is where the tail feathers come out. there is a gland in there that secretes a pheromone and oil that goes up the feather, and then the hen shakes her tail feathers and attracts the male over. You don't. The point is you don't want that in your stock. It has a bitter element, so we're going to cut that off. You're going to be using, that's all trash right there, okay? You're going to be using a boning knife when you're doing this. And typically with a boning knife, you're going to be using just about an inch or two of the tip. Don't use that part, you don't want to use too much. Okay? Now we're going to turn it around 180 degrees. And we're going to start working the wing tips in. So these are the wing tips. You're going to take those off. These are all this, here, 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 and here. These are all ball and socket joints. Remember that from Grey's Anatomy. But what you're going to do is you're going to cut the skin and then expose and hyperextend the joint. So you're going to expose it so you can see the ball and socket, and then you're going to cut right through. Okay? That will be for stock. There's a lot of collagen in here that we want to break down and turn into gelatin. Okay? So we're going to use that. And then once you get good, you can pretty much just cut, hyperextend, and break the joint. This works equally well in your fingers, so be careful. That's how easily your finger will come. Okay. Next thing is you're going to remove the wing. So see how the joint articulates this way? Make a cut by the joint to expose it, hyperextend, and then cut. You're going to have your wings over here. Cut, hyperextend. And then go. So we have wings. For our cut, this is the breast right here. We're going to cut out what's called an airline breast or a Statler breast. It's a very nice way of serving chicken breast versus just to pound it out, double breast like that. Boring. But we're going to cut out airline breasts, and they kind of look like this. Like that, with a little drumette attached. Okay. Next step is going to be to remove the wishbone. The wishbone is your clavicle. So it's your collarbone ring. It's the same thing. That's what the wishbone is. You're going to have to sit the bird up, and you're going to feel. Now, most people will feel down in the hole. Don't go down. It's right here on the side. If you're curious, come over and feel it. Yes. See it? That's the wishbone. It goes on both sides like this. Okay. So one person from each table should probably touch that, just so you know where it is. Otherwise, you'll be going like this the whole time, and then 20 minutes go by, and like, stop. Right here, in the knee. Light bulb? Yes, that's it. That's it.
He'll do it.
Yep. Feel it? It runs right through the breast. And the reason why we're moving it for two reasons. One is yield. Yield, we want to remove it so we can maximize the amount of meat we're going to get out. And number two is safety. Is safety. If you've ever had a bone in your mouth, this bone, if you leave it in there, can actually go through your soft palate. If you bite down, especially for kids, they bite down this little bone. I'll show it to you when we pull it out. It's dangerous. So that's another reason why we want to do it. Can you bring that chair over? Thank you. Oh, wait. Okay? So, how do you remove the wishbone? Well, you make a small incision on the outside of those bones. Like that. Cool. Then you take your index finger and your thumb and you go inside the hole. And you go all the way up to the top and you break it free. And then you pull down like your casino knife. See, this one's broken. That's the wishbone. You can see that was a wishbone. But imagine this. Feel that. Okay, little kid biting that, it'll go right through your soft palate. It'll poke right through. So that's another reason why you want to move. That's going to be hard for the stop. Okay? So now that our wishbone is out, we're going to remove the breast off of the keel bone. So the keel bone is basically our manubrium. Okay, sternum from there down, and you can feel it here. If you want to feel it, you can feel it in there.
Yeah.
So that kind of divides the breast in half.
What's that called again?
Keel bone in the chicken, or manubrium. Manubrium is the bone, and then this is a big collagen or cartilage piece right there. Anybody else want to feel it? Just me? Okay, so you're going to start on one side or the other, and you're just going to make a shallow cut on this side. And don't go deep. You're just going to cut all the way through. And then you're going to want to take the bone or meat off of the keel bone first. Okay, so that's what it looks like. You can see the bone right there. Then you're going to use the tip of the knife and just work your way down. And then you'll take the meat off of the rib cage. So just right. Once you get the meat off the rib cage, like this, here you want to reinsure that your drumette is with the breast. Don't leave it back here because you'll cut it off, and I'll come over and I'll give you a funny look. So keep it over here with your breast, because we're going to take it off with the bone. And then you're going to follow this bone, big bone right here. Follow that down with your blade until you get to the joint. And there's the joint because it's white right underneath there. And you're going to cut into that joint. That will take off the airline breast. And then it looks like this. Then you can flip it over and trim it out if you want. You know, excess fat. Paste. So this is an airline breast. Okay? When you're here also, you can take out the chicken tender. It's right here. We're not going to cook our chicken tender up in so it really messes with the cooking process. Okay? So you'll have this as one of your end results. And then you do the same thing on the other side. What happens a lot of time here is people will just cut straight through, and there's a lot of meat left here. You know, that's your grandkids' college fund. So you want to sell that. You don't want to waste that. So you're going to loosen that up and sell that. And then the keel bone stops right here. So you want to come around this side and get as much meat off of the carcass as possible. Feel free to move the carcass around as much as you want. We're just removing off the rib cage there. Here, again, here's that bone that we're going to follow down. One on each side, it's symmetrical. Pretty cool. So here you go back and you affirm that your drumette is with the breast. Right? Follow that bone down to the joint. Use the white right there. So now we're going to cut through that. Bless you. And there's our chicken breast with the drumette attached. Again, take the chicken finger or chicken tender off. We'll send that to Cane's. You can trim out a little bit if you have excess fat or things on the undesirables. You can trim it out. Leave the skin on, very, very important. Because I'm going to demo sauteing after this. Okay, and if you're feeling a little romantic, you can make a little heart. Aww. Okay, from here, you're going to flip the bird over on its stomach. And grab the broken ankle. Sorry, buddy. Does anybody have a splinter in there? Back there. You're going to lift it up and you'll notice right up here there's a little muscle. On both sides, I don't know if you can see this little hump right there. I'm trying to pronounce it a little bit right there. Yeah. It's just a little muscle. We call it the oyster muscle. I want you to cut that out with the thigh. So what you're going to do is lift this up, make a little cut in front of that muscle. Take your thumb and you're going to scoop out that oyster muscle. It's probably the best part of the chicken. Give it back. And it sits in a little bony pocket. It looks like a spoon. And here's a good picture of it right here. There's the pocket that it was sitting in, and then here's the oyster muscle. So the bony pocket, and then that's the oyster muscle. If you don't cut that out properly, it'll stay in there and then you'll lose it. You want to take it out with the thigh. It's very high level, but it's worth it. Once you scoop that out, then you're just going to go underneath that and take it out. And you have a leg thigh quarter with the oyster muscle attached. Nice thing is it's symmetrical, same thing on the other side. So you lift up this side, cut in front of the oyster muscle, scoop, find that bone, scoop it out with your thumb. Right, there it is again, the pocket with the oyster muscle. You can see it on both sides. And then you cut through the rest. This becomes for chicken stock, that's part of the bones. Okay. And then from here you have leg thigh quarters. We're going to separate these into drumsticks and thighs. And a very easy way to do that is you'll see this line right here of fat. See that? You want to cut on the drumstick side of that line. Okay. So you're going to cut right here, and it'll cut right through. And that separates the femur from the tibia and fibula. There's the drumstick, here's the thigh with the oyster muscle attached. Very nice. Okay, here's that line again. We're going to cut just on the, what side? Drumstick side. Goes right through. Another drumstick. And thigh. So that's what you'll end up with. 2 drumsticks, 2 thighs, 2 breasts, chicken tenders, bones, and wings. Okay? Everybody good? All right, have fun.